So I just put a cricket in there. Got them all tangled up in that web. I don't feel great about it. And you can see Doris's legs there poking up. She's waiting for apparently the right vibration to do what she does. Oh, she's feeling it. She's feeling it. Doesn't take much. These crickets, they kind of play dead a little bit. I think maybe they instinctually know they're in a pickle. Although, who knows? It's nature, but not without a little interference. So went ahead and turned on the light. Doris is probably washing her hands for what she's about to undertake or do, would be the easier word. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's moving a little too much. These crickets, kind of strong. If you give him enough time, he'll eventually shake his way out of there. And Doris is not a great hunter. She will not go chase him down. She does rely on her web. And the web is, if you know anything about black widow webs, they are pretty durable. It would be like you and I being tangled up in tiny Kevlar strengthed. Yeah. Not looking good for old homeboy there. She's like, thank you, Nick. So last time she ate would have been a week ago. So she's probably hungry. Oh, she poked him. Oh, uh-oh. Now she will take her hind legs and tie him up. She's into bondage. So at a certain point, it will be probably now. I don't think he has much of a chance. No, she's going to. Oh, she probably just bit him. And that doesn't feel very good. What that essentially does is paralyze him somewhat. And then, from what I understand, that is. And then she, it's not really pretty what happens. It more or less liquefies the internal organs of the cricket. And then she sucks it out like a Slurpee. It's very interesting with her food, though. She will... Oh, that doesn't look good. That was a bite. You maybe don't need this narrative here, but your eyes will tell you what's going on. Yeah, it's curtains for that fella. It does kind of make me a little sad. you know, that I'm cheating. But I decided to keep her as a pet when I found her in my mailbox. I could have just as easily, while sorting through my mail, brushed against her and received a painful bite on the finger. The thing about these bites is you don't know how you'll react. Rarely fatal, at least for humans, but from what I understand, you'd be in a world of hurt because the venom attacks the nervous system. So she's tying him up, as you can plainly see. The web, if we can get closer, is coming out of her, an orifice, and she's kind of knitting a sweater around him in some sense. They do prefer live prey. So eventually she's going to walk away from him and do kind of a victory arm raise. At least that's what she did last time. It's pretty interesting to watch. And despite the fact that she's killing him and making him into prey, I think in her own way she does have some respect for her prey, because she will, oddly, she will cuddle with it after she consumes a good part of it. And she won't really let it out of her sight for about a day or so. So I only feed her once a week because if you overfeed a black widow, from what I have heard, they could rupture. They basically eat themselves to death. Which makes me wonder what happens in the wild if they get like a windfall of insects in their web. What do? They don't seem to have much self-control. Oh, there's her eyes. Her white, glowing eyes. She's likely blinded by this light, or maybe not, we don't know. It doesn't seem to slow her down. She's not like a deer in the headlights or anything. She probably senses it, but wouldn't be like you or I staring into a flash. I don't think she's blinded by it. Hope not, at least. I don't really want to harm her. I do, in a weird way, care about her. I think about her when she's not around, or when I'm not around, which is a sign that I like her a lot. I can kind of identify with her in some ways. I am kind of lonesome, and I wonder if she ever feels that way. Oddly, she will, during the day, will sit in plain sight, and I don't know if she's watching me, but she certainly knows she can see me. And then in the morning when I get up, often the first thing I do is take a look at her And when she sees my shadow, she bolts, usually under a leaf or somewhere hidden. And then she kind of plays a little peekaboo with me, and then eventually she'll come out. And sometimes I will put my little Bose speaker next to her habitat and play her classical music. I actually play different kinds of music to see what she likes best. I assume she probably likes classical music. Although sometimes I play the underworld, which is electronic music. I'm not sure if she digs that. Unfortunately, there's some debris on her cage, on her habitat, which you can see these little specks there. In a perfect world, it would be cleaner, but it's not. So she's, I just can't speak for her anymore. I don't really know what she's thinking or doing, other than securing her prey, which I would imagine at this point is pretty secure. Now we wonder, I think we know that crickets have a basic fear instinct, because they do try to escape, but don't know if it goes really any further than just instinct. I kind of have a soft spot for any and all of God's creatures. I generally don't like killing anything, which is why I didn't kill Doris. That just seemed practically sacrilegious for me if I would have killed her when I first saw her. Although it was very alarming, and I did yell and do my version of screaming. And she's big. If she extends her legs, I would say she's probably at full extension about as large as a silver dollar. Not a quarter or a half dollar, because those legs are very long, and that body is about the size of a small marble. Now that is actually a large cricket, not to be confused with a grasshopper, because otherwise it would be larger, but as far as crickets go, this is a large cricket. So she's big. Clearly well fed. It's been 15 minutes. I don't know what more there is to see. I was kind of hoping she would do her victory dance that she did in the past, where she basically steps away and goes to the edge of the cage and extends her arms and shakes them, which is really interesting to watch. She has not done that today. Maybe she doesn't feel like she's victorious yet. Or maybe I'm just totally wrong about her. At some point, I notice, usually, I haven't seen it happen, but she will pretty much pick him up and move him to another area. Not him in particular, but her prey. Like she flips him over real quick. So we don't know if she's going to eat him now or if she's just getting him ready for later. He's still alive. She's kind of pulsating. Now her story is, I was going through my mail and it drops out of a mail slot and it lands in a box on the floor. It's like a wooden wine box, kind of decorative. And I was flipping through it, and in the corner I see her sort of cowering, because they cower. They're not aggressive. They're not inclined to take on somebody literally 5,000 times their size. And typically, from what I gather, they only will bite if you push on them. They feel some sort of pressure, and they'll do that to essentially save their own life if they can. It's kind of their last-ditch effort, because you could pretty much squeeze them without any effort, hardly at all. But she doesn't come after you. So she did not. She cowered. She played dead. They actually played dead. She tucked her legs in, tried to be as small as possible. Of course, in the contrast of a light-colored wooden box, she was not hard to miss. Or she was hard to miss. That's what I'm trying to say. So I got a little jar and got her, and then poked holes in that. That was a small jar, and then I upgraded her to a large pickle jar, and put a stick in there, and then I ordered a terrarium for her, which is where she's at now. And I would clean it more often, but if I do that, I destroy her web. So if you take a look at literally everything in here, it's all tied together. So you can't lift up one thing in that enclosure without everything going with it. And the egg carton is basically just, I don't know, it's kind of for her to hide if she wants to. Crickets tend to hide in there, which I can't blame them. Crickets like the egg cartons because it keeps them from being cannibalistic, because otherwise when they're with other crickets, if they don't have something else to chew on, they'll chew on each other. So that's why you do the egg crate. But so if you look, I can move this just a little bit, but on the side you'll see that hole there. So that's about the size of a quarter. And the first time I cleaned her cage, before I decided that you don't really want to take everything out, I did clean it at one point, and I put her back in there, and I actually did not think to cover that hole. It's now covered by a screen, but it was open for a good week, at which at any time she could have escaped. But she's somewhat of a homebody. She probably feels safer in here than somewhere else. So she stayed in there, but it did kind of make my blood run cold for a second when I realized that I had done that. I tell myself that we're friends and that we don't have any animosity towards each other. I'm supposed to be working right now, but apparently I'm taking my lunch break, watching Doris take her lunch break, or her annual meal break, or no, weekly meal break. So that's pretty much it. I mean, beyond that, I don't know if she's feeding yet or not. Like I've been told, they more or less suck out the contents from the inside of the cricket because their venom will sort of dissolve the internal organs into sort of a special sauce that they like. So I'm going to break this off at 25 minutes, so we have another 2.5 minutes of fun. Maybe she'll do something different. And there's her telltale red hourglass. You can see that. I'm kind of hoping the cricket is dead, but he still might not be. Definitely not going anywhere. You see she has secured his jumping legs to the side of his body. I do find this fascinating. I'm not sure if you do. If you're still watching, then obviously you do. And her name is Doris Night. Sort of a takeoff on Doris Day. Here she is kind of picking it up a little bit, moving it. Okay, we got about 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. This is actually longer than a sitcom, but it's not funny. And she's lifting it. And she likes to reposition. She always does this. She always will reposition her prey. So I'm going to end this video in 10 seconds. All right. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed, or not enjoyed. Hopefully you were at least not bored with this spectacle of Doris Night. Gosh, it's just hard to look away at this point. See how long that leg is? You can kind of see her eyes a little bit. All right, bye-bye.